Okay, let's bring in the Amazons now. Let's start with Dr. Ijeoma Nwafor, Country Director to the Hague Institute for Innovation of Law. Come up to the podium. You have 5 minutes, please. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I beg to stand on existing protocol. I was invited to this event on my capacity working for the Hague Institute for Innovation of Law, but I've had the privilege in my past life to be a politician. So when you talk about mad dogs and corrupt people and bias, I cringe. However, I'm here to focus on the lecture we had the privilege to listen to. Thank you so much, sir. You did justice to it. And like the previous speaker spoke, I'm glad you are being honest and not necessarily, I don't celebrate your brilliance. I didn't expect anything less. But what I celebrate, sir, is the fact that there's so few of us who are able to speak courageously about the truth of our problem, the Nigerian problem. So I thank you so much. Having said that, I took some notes. And something that stood out to me was when you said that the judiciary should not be seen mingling with politicians. Who are the judiciary? They're Nigerians. And I think that's for me, I think that is the root of the problem. Somehow, you become a governor and you're no longer a Nigerian. Somehow you become a judge, you're no longer a Nigerian. You're a president and you're no longer a Nigerian. And that is the root of the problem. It is a Nigerian problem. If you're a corrupt Nigerian and you're made a judge, you will be a corrupt judge. If you're a corrupt Nigerian and you become a SAN, you will become a corrupt SAN. The problem is a Nigerian problem. It starts from the home, it starts from the communities. We don't even hold each other accountable any longer. So, sir, I equally have a question for you. Perhaps we should legislate who people marry. Why should a prominent politician's wife be able to be a judge? It should be against the law. You see somebody that I laugh at it. He's a prominent politician, and his wife climbs up and becomes a Supreme Court justice. We have to regulate these things. And some people will say, how can you regulate love? You're not regulating love, you're regulating sanity and discipline. If your wife needs to be a judge, then you need not be an elected official. You must pick one. Let us get serious. Let us get serious. You hear court judgments. You hear court judgment, and the judge sitting there is the wife of a senator, and the senator comes on the floor of the Senate and tells us, well, in the bedroom, I have negotiated for some of you, and we laugh. So I'm calling on all of us, because I was talking to my friend, Dr. Gash. I was saying to him that the simplistic response to all of our problems is to blame the judiciary. The simplistic solution to all our problems is to blame politicians. If I didn't tell you today that I am a politician, or I was a politician before I went on sabbatical, I don't look like one. I don't speak like one. But let me tell you another problem before I sit down, having listened to our speaker. The bigger problem is, I have to humbly tell you that the politicians you see on your television, in the Senate, the National Assembly, are finished products of a very corrupt route. I remember the first time I was just coming back from the US when I ran for Federal House of Reps. I went to one of the delegates' house, and I must say this with all sense of humility. The man couldn't speak English, was a secondary school dropout, was riddled with poverty. I was trying to understand, how can this man gauge if I'm good enough to represent him? I could barely sit on his seat. The house was filthy. All of you politicians know what I'm talking about. But multiple people like him were responsible to vote for who was going to represent them. And then you wonder what is wrong. With all due respect, it's not lawyers that pick these people. It's not people seated here that choose who is going to represent their parties. Let's get serious. From the root is corrupt. When it's time to pick those delegates, Politicians pick delegates who cannot barely understand the system. All they know is the brown envelope. And you let them elect your senators and House of Reps members, and what do you expect to get out of it? Let's get serious. When they are writing these delegates, most of them are not even educated. They can't read, they can't write. They don't understand anything. They're waiting for the bags of rice. They don't care about issues. Give me the money. And then finally, because maybe this is not the right time to say all this, but finally, before I sit down, I want to challenge us. Are you waiting for your turn? Because the last election to me was the most sincere. A man who is now, with all due respect, our president, said it is his turn. I felt that was the most sincere statement, because amongst the political class, amongst the judges, amongst the judiciary, the legislative, all of us are waiting for our turn. Our turn for the embarrassingly reality that we are left to cater to ourselves. The very nature of the Nigerian state is what is creating the electoral rot. Every Nigerian is taking care of themselves. So when you are elected, when you're looking for office, you're looking for a means to take care of yourself. Pay school fees, pay for your electricity, pay for water, pay for the road, pay for everything. Even your security you pay for. So tell me, how can you elect me and expect me, who is coming for my own slice of the national cake, to protect yours? The problem is all of us sitting here and those sitting out there. It may be simple to hold the judiciary responsible, but what I hold them responsible for, with all due respect, is before you became a judge, you were a Nigerian. And sir, because you're the governor we're seeing, you were once a governor, and now you are the chairman of the ruling party. Before all of that, you were a Nigerian. Let's think about Nigeria first. Thank you very much.